This is the Porsche 911 GT2 RS, and yes, we know we've got it a bit late. This car came out in 2018, but a test unit has come available from Porsche South Africa, so of course we are going to take it for a spin. What is it exactly? Well, best way I can put it is think of it as a 911 GT3 RS, which we did a video on last year, that has just done about 3 lines of cocaine and maybe also a shot of espresso. So design-wise, the GT2 RS is pretty distinctive. It's got a lot of cues that it shares with the GT3 RS, but it's got this really big bumper in the front with these large air intakes, knacker ducts in the carbon fiber bonnet, and a massive rear wing at the back, which all work together to create a nice amount of downforce, which a car like this really needs given its power output. Somewhere under here, you've got a 3.8 litre flat 6 engine, which has been fitted with a pair of VTG turbochargers that have a maximum pressure of 1.55 bars. Altogether, it pushes 515 kilowatts and 750 newton meters of torque to the rear wheels only, with a 7-speed dual clutch transmission. Obviously, this is a car that's not going to be used on a daily basis unless you have a pleasure for discomfort. Having said that though, I don't find it all too uncomfortable. It's obviously bumpy, the seats are not great, but the ride does have some kind of active damping, which is in a sport setting is standard. There's no comfort setting. It's the sport or very sport. It's also got a rear wheel steering system to make it just a bit more sharper through the corners. And the chassis and downforce combination in this car, I mean, geez, I can't fault it at all. It's perfect. In a wet road like this, I've got confidence to go through a corner nice and quickly. Just really dive it in. Once the Cup 2 tires are heated up to a suitable temperature, even on slightly damp surfaces, it performs pretty well. The transmission is not too aggressive. The cabin is loud, obviously, but if you're at cruising speeds and you turn the loud exhaust off, it's quite a bit of wind noise, but that's about it. Really wouldn't be a car that would be impossible to live with on a daily basis, but obviously there's a lot of compromise. So let's talk about what it would be like on the track. Obviously Cup 2 tires are standard. What we know about those tires is they give fantastic grip and also very impressive durability. They don't wear out very quickly. The rear wing is adjustable, so for track days it will be able to adapt to whatever track that you are racing on based on how well you know how to set it. It's also got a 5-litre tank for distilled water, which can cool the engine down on really hot days, which is super handy if you're tracking this car. Steering is electro assisted, not hydraulic, which is fine. I think it's set to a really nice stiffness, quite responsive. Cornering is very sharp in this car and really matches the rear wheel steering nicely. So you don't have to put a lot of input in the steering wheel to get good performance out of a corner and to maintain a good line. It's a very, very easy car to kind of flow into. It feels very poetic in the way it drives, you know. You can really blend into its dynamics. The VTG turbochargers work incredibly well on this engine. I think they're a perfect fit. They're responsive. There's no sign of turbo lag whatsoever. That 515 kilowatts does not feel like a lie at all. Like I said with the GT3 RS, it's a car it's very welcoming in terms of dynamic driving. So it's intimidating for the first few bits, but once you understand, cool, the Cup 2 tires stick to the road, the big wings and the big intakes all keep the car hunkered down with downforce. The steering is nice and sharp. You understand, cool, everything in this car is working together to help me drive it as fast as I can drive it. So the 911 GT2 RS is an exceptional supercar experience, but unfortunately that is all it is, because you can't really buy it anymore. The 992 generation is already out. I said that the 991.2 GT3 RS was a great farewell to that generation of the 911, but I have to say this is an even greater one. So yeah, I mean, the guys at RS, they should obviously be proud with what they've achieved here, because it's just fantastic. And I really hope going forward, with everything going on with the emissions and going electric, that they can still retain this kind of purity. I mean, we all had our concerns when everyone started to go turbocharging, and it turns out that that was in fact for the better. So who knows, maybe an electric GT2 RS in the future might even be better than this.